Acting Director for the Department of Rural Economy and Agriculture of the African Union Commission. And that is the department where we have been working very closely with the AfricaSeeds. I think it's important that I give a bit of background with regard to where we have come from in terms of the AfricaSeeds. But before that, I would also like to mention that I'm also a member of the board of AfricaSeeds, the first inaugural board that has been set up for AfricaSeeds. So way back in 2007, the African Union Heads of States had adopted the Africa Seed and Biotechnology Program as a continental program for the comprehensive development of the seed sector on our continent. And following up on that decision, the Heads of States had also mandated that the AU Commission undertakes a scoping mission and tries to identify an institution that could take over the responsibility of overseeing the implementation of the Africa Seed and Biotechnology Program. Also, on the basis of this decision that had been taken and the mandate given to the AU Commission, we set up a scoping mission on the continent and tried to identify any institution that could be strategically placed to be able to have the capacity to deliver this particular declaration. And at the end of the scoping mission, the Commission identified the then AfricaSeeds network as the most appropriate institution that could take on this responsibility of overseeing the implementation of the Africa Seed and Biotechnology Program. And there were two very important criteria that the Commission had considered when it was undertaking the scoping mission. The first criteria was ensuring that we get an institution that has a continental scope and also an institution that has a mandate from our African Union member states. And the then AfricaSeeds network was seen to have met those two criteria. In the first place, the AfricaSeed network had been set up by at least 40 of the AU member states when they had a meeting in 1998 here in Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. And secondly, it's the only African institution that has a continental view and mandate and area of implementation with regards to seed development. So on the basis of this, the Commission began engagement with the then AfricaSeed network. And we looked at the institutional arrangements of AfricaSeed network, and we came to the conclusion that for it to more effectively deliver on this new mandate that's been given to it by the AU Commission, we might need to do some restructuring of the AfricaSeed network. And on the basis of this, the AfricaSeed network underwent the restructuring, and we came up with AfricaSeeds. So AfricaSeeds was birthed last year, August 2014. And now we've organized the first board meeting. And in this board meeting, we have come up with the midterm implementation plan. We have a strategic plan that has been put in place. And we have begun to speak with a lot of donors and other partners. And we're also going to be mobilizing other African Union member states to also give support to ensuring that this institution begins to deliver on the mandates that it had been given. And I would like to use this opportunity to also express the appreciation of the AU Commission, particularly to the government of Côte d'Ivoire, because since 1998, when the Africa Seed Network was put in place, the government of Côte d'Ivoire had given the necessary support, both financial and in budget and in-kind supports. And so when the decision of the AU Commission came 10 years later, we did not have to start from the scratch in trying to find an African institution that could deliver on an AU decision. So we would like to express our appreciation to the government of Côte d'Ivoire, but we would also like to call on other African Union member states to also provide the necessary support to this particular institution. I thank you very much.